Today is Wednesday, September 20th, 2023. This is the Auburn Finance Committee. This open meeting of the Town of Auburn Finance Committee is being conducted both in person and remotely, consistent with Chapter 107 of the Acts of 2022, which suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed to participate remotely as long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. For the public to join the meeting remotely by telephone, it's 1-786-535-3211. The access code is 991-599-357. Or the public can join via computer by going to Global GoToMeeting, click Join, same access code 991-599-357. All supporting materials that have been provided to members of this body are available on the town's website. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda. Even though I think all our members are present here, there's a possibility that another member may join remotely, so I'll read this portion as well. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda participating remotely are present and can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Ed Coleman? Here. Trevor Sansucci is not here or remote. Michael Marshall? Here. Patrick Jones? Here. George Graham? Here. And Stephen Consilvio? Here. Town officials and employees participating, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. CFO Town Accountant Karen Harnoy?
Here.
And Administrative Assistant Sharon Kwiatkowski.
Here.
Okay, also please note that each vote taken in this meeting will be conducted by roll call vote if necessary, but since everybody here is here in person, we can just call the vote over here. So we've called the meeting to order. The first item on our agenda, well, first of all, let's welcome, we have two new members of our committee, George Graham, Steve Consilvio, welcome. I think you'll enjoy yourself. It's a good group here. A very, important group, but, please realize it's a informal yet formal group. I don't know how to say. We're all volunteers here, and we'll learn how it goes. And I think all the members here will say that I ask the most questions of anybody and have since they've known me. But that's because I don't come from a financial background. So when the CFO and others throw out acronyms and different spreadsheet accounting type terms, raise your hand, because the way I feel about it is there's folks at home that also may be in that same position, not understanding what is being discussed. So in fairness to them, feel free to ask questions, and welcome aboard. Thank you. First item on our agenda is the reorganization.
Okay, I call for nominations for the chair of the Finance Committee.
I nominate Kevin Kennedy for chair. Second.
Okay, Mike, you seconded? Or Ed did, okay. Are there any other nominations? Okay, hearing none, I declare the nominations are closed, and I will call for a roll call. Mr. Consilvio?
Yes.
Mr. Graham?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Marshall?
Yes.
Mr. Coleman?
Yes.
Mr. Kennedy?
I'll accept, thank you.
Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Second item is to, relative to the vice chair position. We'll accept, how do we have to call this? I'm sorry.
Nomination to Michael Marshall for vice chair.
Okay, accepting nominations. We have a nomination and a second. Any further nominations? Okay, we'll call the roll. In favor of Mike Marshall for vice chair, Steve Consilvio?
Yes.
George? Yes. Patrick?
Yes.
Michael? And Ed?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
You got the big upgrade.
Okay, second, actually third on our agenda is the review vote on some transfer requests. You should all have the packets in front of you there. We'll just go through them one by one. Okay, the first transfer request is from the library. I don't think we have any representatives of the library here, but first one's coming from the Library Associates account. Requested transfer of $5,000 going to the Library Associates overtime account. The given reason for the transfer is to fund the overtime account for union employees. This will be funded retroactively to the beginning of FY '24, 4 weeks current total negative balance of, I think that's $597.73. Any, did you want to, any information on this one?
Sure, the Gene Collins, the library director, submitted this transfer due to vacancies in the department, that they need to incur some overtime costs, and they're going to transfer it from some vacant positions in the library associates.
Any questions relative to this?
I just have a generic question. Is the overtime,
Speak directly into the microphone 2 inches away.
is the overtime account different than the regular payroll account?
Yes, it is. It's
So
a
that's-
separate, it's a separate line item and kept track of separately, yes. Sure.
Any other questions? Okay, all in favor, since we're all here? All in favor? Aye. Chair votes aye. I'm sorry. Sorry. Motion to approve the, see, I'm already rusty. Motion to approve the transfer. So, motion second, and all in favor? Okay, thank you. Yeah, thanks, you got my back, buddy. Just one from the audience? Okay, next one's coming from, for the fire department. Coming from the generator maintenance account, amount requested $750. Going to the membership publications account to cover an invoice for annual dues for Tri-Epic Regional. Any questions? Do you have a motion?
Motion approved. Second.
Motion second, all in favor? Aye, chair votes aye. Next transfer from the Board of Health. We have, Ms. Coyle here, did you want to go up and? I'll just read off what the transfer says while you're getting up there. The account is from the Board of Health Inspector account. The amount requested $4,000, going to the Animal Control Officer backup coverage, and the reason given to cover Animal Control Officer staffing stipends. Do you want to give some update on that?
Good evening. Congratulations. So the transfer request tonight is for animal control, our assistant animal control officers. We currently have 3, and the assistant animal control officer function is to provide support to our full-time animal control officer during off hours, so evenings, weekends. This transfer is to cover a stipend that we are putting in place to help with the current assistant animal control to provide support when we have animals in the kennel. So they respond to emergency calls, but if we also have animals in there that have to be clean and feeds, we kind of call them, this will provide support to them. So the $4,000 is coming from the inspector line item from the Board of Health. I'm happy to say that we do have that position filled, but we did have a period where it wasn't filled when we started the new fiscal year. So we have money that is available. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Patrick?
Thank you. I just want to understand, because it says here is that there's staffing stipends, and I think that we have an assistant in there. Would that not have been part of the budget when we produced it in July?
So it actually wasn't part of the budget. This was something that came about after the budget was already done. So it is trying to make sure that we can support the assistant animal control officers, and the budget was already made at that time.
So the $4,000, just to piggyback on my statement, is that an expectation that we're going to really go for covering it for the year? It's just not immediate. It's an
That's-
annualized guesstimate.
So the $4,000 is broken down for worst case scenario, if we had animals in the kennel every single weekend for 52 weekends, it comes out to be $75 per weekend. So that comes out to be the $4,000. We don't, I'm sorry, we don't think we're going to use all of it. We're already into the year, so I don't think I'll need all of that, but I just did worst-case scenario if by chance we did.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
I just have one. So the use of the word stipend, is it wages to cover hours that the animal control officers are there? Or is it a stipend, and to me just implies it's something you get as part of your position, whether you're working or not?
Stipend will only be paid if there's animals in the kennel and they do have to attend to them. There is a stipend for the actual on-call. So if they have to respond to an emergency call, this would be separate if we have animals there. So it wouldn't be paid if there's no animals in the kennel that have to be cared for.
And do they get an hourly rate for the time they're there to care for the animals on the weekends, in addition to their stipend?
It is, the coverage stipend is for the entire weekend. It's not done through an hourly.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Motion to approve? Second. Motion is second, all in favor? Aye. Chair votes aye.
Thank you so much.
Okay, the next request is coming from the salary reserve account. Is that correct? There's some corrections on here, but it is requested to the Finance Committee from MIS for the Assistant Director. The amount requested, $4,432. Reason given for the shortage is an assignment of duties and responsibilities to Assistant Current MIS Director. These duties once the responsibility of an individual who retired. I see online we have Mike Marino. Michael, did you want to give us some insight into this request?
Yes, basically, the previous Assistant IT Director had retired, and this is to reassign those duties to the new employee.
Questions?
Is this a current employee who's just taking on additional responsibilities?
Yes, that's correct.
Any other questions for?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you very much.
This one's important because it involves us, and we don't usually get transfers requests as part of our committee here. Two separate items from the town manager. Requests to go from the Finance Committee supplies account, the amount requested $215. Going to the dues account, to reclass budget to proper account for Finance Committee dues. Questions relative to this one?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Second item, and just so our new members, if we had more than three, it benefits us that there can be a motion to combine them into one. If they're all going to that same account, we can combine them and vote on them as one bulk. But when it's two, you end up with an additional motion just to combine them, so it doesn't work out in our favor time-wise, so. So this one also, this one's coming from the Town Manager Professional Services. Amount requested $43, going to the dues account, and again, to funds need to cover annual dues for the Finance Committee. Any questions?
Motion to approve? Second.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
And, while we get the CFO, I know pre-COVID, we were made aware as a committee of some opportunities relative to training from the Finance Committee Association under the Mass Municipals. Do you know anything about that? And, can you get us at some point some more? I know there's the letter outlines some of the things here, but information relative to members who may be able to take advantage of some additional seminars and training and things of that nature.
Absolutely. The dues are with the Association of the Town Finance Committees. So I will look into that and then at the next meeting, or I'll send some information when I have it to the chair that we can share with the committee.
Great, thank you. That's the end of our transfers. We do have some minutes that were provided to us. Just so you're aware, with minutes, unless there's something that you wish to discuss about those minutes, they just, if there's nothing additionally to discuss, they just go on as being accepted without any type of vote. So we have the minutes that were presented to us. If there's no questions, we'll consider those accepted. Okay.
Motion to accept the minutes as is.
I don't think we even, do we even, Sharon?
You don't need to.
We don't need to. No, I think we're just, they just go, they go as accepted unless there's an issue with them. Before we adjourn, meeting-wise, potential for our next meeting for October 4th, so we can discuss the warrant articles. Those need to be in by the week after, is that correct, Sharon?
Yes, we have to mail the warrant the following week and your recommendation.
In our recommendation, so we really need to get a meeting in.
Is the selectmen on the second?
No, the selectmen meet next week. They usually take recommendations even after it gets mailed out and report to town meeting.
Anybody have any issues with the 4th? We'll get those in advance of, so we'll have time to review them, but
Can you just remind me what time, or what date town meeting was again?
It's October 24th at 6 PM at the high school.
you don't have to give us a definitive time, just so everybody's aware that the 4th will, we'll communicate and understand we need to get together, so. Any other questions or any other items anybody wants to bring up? No? Anything else for us, Karen? No? Sharon, good? Okay. I'll
To adjourn?
motion to adjourn. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Very good. Thank you, everybody. You want me to gavel? You will? Yeah.